So then we start to look a bit more sort of beyond that, because really people want to interact online in the spaces that they feel comfortable in. So if we can't offer uploading and social networks and stuff on our site, which we can't, although we are thinking about doing something quite small, potentially, for young kids, you know, we have to move into those spaces. And as we talked about earlier, what you can't do is go in there and look like you're just pushing in as a sort of marketing. We want you just to sort of see our brand and kind of...
No, it doesn't work.
No, well, you look like an idiot and who doesn't understand those spaces. And so what it takes is a number of things. First of all, a great deal of care and attention of that community. So to go onto Flickr and to just read all the discussion threads and make sure that questions are getting answered, even if you're like, I don't know, but I'll go away and find out. So people feel like somebody's there and actually is listening to them. And so tone of voice is important, and then to kind of work with each community as what it's best at.
I remember when we met first time, I came down and we talked, you mentioned the Brooklyn Museum use of the site, various sites, and which I then followed and found, and yeah, they use all sorts of sites, don't they, in a very innovative way, I think.
Well, I think they're the leaders, really, and I mean, because what they do is that when they have talks and things like that, they photograph the talks and they put. I mean, we photograph the talks, but we don't put the stuff up there. When we probably that's what we ought to do, because then it becomes clear. Now you know, just look at their Flickr page, you know that people go to the Brooklyn Museum and do talks and what kind of calibre they are. And one thing we've looked at doing and may still do is there's a kind of project coming up that's it's kind of like a little bit secret, and we thought we could just take a photo of it, of something related to it, and post it on Flickr, and it would be a kind of if you were part of, if you became Tate's that kind of friend during that project, and therefore you see the latest photos.
Yeah.
You know, when you like log in to Flickr, you'll see it, and so it'll be a kind of, I don't know, kind of like guerrilla marketing, not really guerrilla marketing, but you know, it'll be kind of like, here's our little thank you, you can come see the secret thing. Maybe that'll happen, maybe it won't, but that's, I kind of like the idea of it because it's kind of like giving something back.
Now we're fortunate enough to have Sarah Briggs with us today, who's from marketing at Tate. Thanks, Sarah, for coming along. Could you introduce yourself, please?
I'm the Tate marketing manager, so I look after a range of different projects. I worked on the How We Are exhibition as a whole, so looking at how we attracted an audience to come to the exhibition, and also worked with John on the How We Are Now project with Flickr. A lot of what I do looks at what audiences Tate has at the moment and who we're not getting and how we might reach those people, and that's why projects like How We Are Now with Flickr were so important in developing links with an existing online community, and just from both, you know, encouraging people to upload their photos, but also to come to the exhibition at the gallery as well and see their work at Tate. And just looking at some of the comments online, there were some brilliant things where people were actually saying, oh, you know, I came down on Monday but couldn't stay long, so I missed my photo appearing on the screens. And then people, you know, commenting back, well, I'm going Wednesday, do you want me to take a photo of it? So very, you know, nice, that sort of interactive community feel, and a sense that we were reaching a much broader audience than we normally would.
So can I ask you directly what your experience was working with Yahoo? How was that? What was that like?
I mean, personally, from a marketing perspective, and I know, and colleagues in the press office dealt with them from the PR perspective as well, very helpful. As far as they were concerned, this was, you know, a unique project in the unique pairing. And it was something quite different, so that was something that they wanted to talk about and let people know about. But it was all very straightforward, very straightforward.
I think, I mean, so much of what Tate does involves partnerships.
Yeah.
So, be it partnerships with artists, partnerships with other institutions, be they other museums or academic institutions, partnerships with sponsors, relationships with journalists in various publications, relationships with freelancers, so there's 1,000 people who work here or whoever, but there's a very much larger number of people who are kind of beyond Tate, and so in pretty much everything we do, there's some kind of partnership. So
you can't work alone in isolation if one of your aims is to get more people and a more diverse community to know what you do. It would just be impossible. So, that's why partnerships are so important across the board, as John says. Absolutely everything we do. I'd say pretty much most departments involve some sort of partnership activity.
While I was there, she took a photo on her mobile phone and uploaded it to Flickr while we were sitting there. And then when I got back to the office, all the other people at Flickr were like commenting on the photo, going, "Hi John, hi John."